Hello everybody, you're welcome to my page, you're welcome to my channel, and special shout out to all those who have been sending me messages, either direct message or you just just commented on any of my videos. Thank you so much. Thank you. So today we'll continue with interviews, right? The last topic we did was, of course, interviews, and we just did like some form of introduction to the topic. And today we're just going to continue, right? So yeah, when you go for interviews, you have different questions that are asked. Tell us about yourself. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are your strengths and weaknesses? What would you do if you have a difficult boss? What are your hobbies? What keeps you motivated? All of that, all of that. So we're going to break down these questions, right? And I'm going to give you some form of guidelines on how to answer these questions, right? They can be very tricky and sometimes very simple, right? So we're going to start with the simplest, then we move over to the complex. For the simplest one, which is tell us about yourself or tell me about yourself, first off, you need to understand the reason for a question. You need to give yourself some credit first and say, oh, for me to have scaled through that resume selection stage, that's where you applied for the role. You're not the only person who applied. There are other people who applied as well, right? So for them to have picked you to move into the next stage, which is the interview stage, it means that your resume somehow resonates with them. And so they like to push this further because they see some kind of diamond there, right? And so you should give yourself that credit, then think about the next thing. The next thing is, why are they asking me this question? Why is she or he asking me tell him about myself, right? Usually there are three reasons. First off, to break the ice, to probably just start a conversation, and from there, start with an open-ended question. As little as tell us about yourself can be. It can just be the start and finish of that interview. So you need to come with your A game. You need to understand why the question was passed to you. And the three reasons are, first off, to break the ice, like I said. Secondly, to kind of match you with the resume they have seen, right? To more like place you on a particular standard. Now, your response could either be they'll peg you at the standard they saw your resume, or they may feel like your resume is not even selling you as much as you're worth, right? And so they place you higher, and then they tell you things like, oh, you should have put that in your resume. Then you know that, okay, it's like I did a good job with my intro. The final part is they just want to know you better, right? They want to know you away from what they've seen on the CV. Oh, I'm a first class graduate from so university, from Adebola University, and blah, 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 all of that. They want to see another side of you that is different from first class graduates. There's some first class that cannot speak fluently, right? Either in English or whatever languages that is being used in the country, whatever it is. So they want to see if truly you possess that first class in speaking and how you compose yourself during conversations, right? So they want to see that. So you need to think. I would advise that you plan before you go for the interview so nothing comes to you off guard, right? You talk solely about your professional self. Do not exceed. Do not talk about, oh, we are three kids in my family. My mother is a farmer. My dad is a police. Please, nobody asked you that. Keep it professional. The question kind of sounds informal. Tell us about yourself. It sounds like, give me gist about you. What did you eat last night? Who are your friends? What's your best friend's name? What do you like doing? What's your hobby? And all of that. It is not informal. It is a professional question. Just give a professional response, okay? And so when you tell them about your profession, how you started working, right, the jobs you have done, ensure that your professional profile that you're about to give them is related to the position you're applying for. You're applying for an HR role and you begin to talk about engineering roles that you've done before. It is not tallying. In as much as those are the places you've worked, you need to be able to tie your job responsibility at the time in that company to what you're applying for now. Say, for instance, you applied for a sales role and you're coming from HR, right? And they're asking you, or tell us about yourself, right? And then you want to tell them that I've worked in ABC group of companies, is an HR firm that helps to, provide HR services or support services to other companies. Great, fantastic. That's what you people do. But what I was doing there, now you were doing HR role in that company, but since it has to do with sales now, your new role that you're applying for is sales. Then you want to say something in line with what you're applying for. So you are expected to say things like, I was part of the team in the company that was in charge of sales. So I was selling HR services to other company. So we were their consultant and I was able to close out 500 business within January to August, right? And this yielded about 2.4 billion. Tell them how you were able to sell the HR services to the point that you made a certain amount of revenue. That is what they want to hear. Do not go and tell them, I was the HR of the company and this was what I was doing. I was recruiting, onboarding, employee retention. I was in charge of their payroll. I was in charge. Nobody wants to hear about that. It's all about sales. So everything you should do from at least the jobs you will highlight should be basically related to what you're applying for now. And even if you've held another position, you can always coin your job description to suit what you're applying for now. I do not know if you understand me. So you should suit more like what I said about you applying for a sales role and you're HR and your company it's a firm that deals with selling HR services to other companies. Do not tell them things like, I am in HR and stuff. You should be able to tie your role, to suit what you're applying for now. Okay, that's what they want. So keep it professional. I've worked in A, B, and C company. I've worked in D, C, and F company. I've worked in XYZ company. It should be like that. And I've done sales in this. My target was in this. I was able to meet so target. Things that are related to sales is what they want to hear. If you have worked in any company that does not have anything to do with sales, do not amplify that job too much. Do not dwell on it too much. In fact, as a matter of fact, you should just breeze through it. This is even because it's on your CV. That's why you're mentioning it, right? You should just mention it, but it shouldn't be something you would dwell on for long, okay? Just say it, I worked, just say briefly. Be brief about it. Nothing special, okay? If you're not able to coin your job description to suit what you're applying for and move on to the next one that has sales in it, then stay on that, right? Let them know that you're qualified for that role, because it can be very tricky. A lot of people say things like, they ask you, tell me about yourself, and the next thing people go, I am a Christian, I'm from a family of 8, we are 4 children, we are 8 parents, people just say different things, and they go on to say, I like swimming, I like football, I like that. No, it is a professional question that is seeking to know about your professional self. So keep it professional. If you start working after your first degree, start highlighting from there. There is no need telling people about, after secondary school, I wrote JAMB, or I wrote the exam to get into uni. And after I got into uni, I was able to come out with a 2-1. No need for that. When you speak, they will be able to deduce if truly you came out with 2-1, okay? So ensure that you keep it professional. They just want to know you. They want to start a conversation with you. They want to hear something different from what is on your CV. So even if they have things that you're listing out already on your CV, they need you to emphasize on it and the reason you feel you are best for this role. Those are the areas you should, put your strengths. Anyway, for next video, we'll be talking about the second question they usually ask. I hope you've been able to understand this question. Do not forget to like, to share, to subscribe to my channel on YouTube. If you're watching from Instagram, the link to my YouTube channel and my LinkedIn page, it's up there in my bio, so feel free to go and click on it and send me a direct message. You can also send me a direct message from Instagram. Feel free to chat me up. I am available. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you so much. All right, see you next time. Bye bye.